Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher. I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beers, but I'm also on a limited budget and I wanted to demonstrate that it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. So the beers that I review on this channel normally come in around the $2 price range. Now I have to make a small note for this review and the next two reviews, the rest of the reviews for May. Um, during this season, and I know you can't say certain words if you're going to lose demonetization, so um, during this time of all of us staying at home, I was trying desperately to fill in the final three reviews that I needed for the month of May, and I spent more than I normally do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plow forward with this review and the next two. But after that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, gang. I'm really not. I've been to the store. I found all the beers that were not that were actual craft, not faux craft, for your build your own six pack, and I barely was able to put together a six pack. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I guess I'll just have to let you know when when June rolls around. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what to do. But today's selection is the Alpha Millennium Imperial IPA from Hop Valley Brewing. Hop Valley Brewing is out of Eugene, Oregon. They are Oregon brewers. Eugene is a great college town. Good place to stop and get a few beers. Um, I did pay $4.99 for this 22-ounce bottle. So actually considering that, usually we pay about $2 for a 12-ounce bottle, and that's almost twice the amount of a 12-ounce bottle, $4.99 is about right. This beer is actually out of production, the Alpha Millennium. This specific batch was brewed to commemorate their 3,000th batch. I'm going to read this right now. This Imperial IPA was brewed to celebrate batch 3,000 at the Eugene Brewery. A tangerine aroma leads into pine and citrus hop flavors with a biscuity malt backbone, creating a bold hop-forward Imperial with an exceptionally smooth finish. I'm going to make one note of this. As you see, it does say on here Imperial IPA. Here in the States, that is the preferred term as opposed to double, or I've even seen some places call it strong IPA. Um, Imperial is the preferred word. I'm also finding out that some of us out there, if it's 9% or over, want to refer to those simply as hoppy barley wines. To me, barley wine is something that's very different. But I have had some very hoppy barley wines, and some that could almost appear to be imperial IPAs. So I don't think it's altogether that crazy to refer to an IPA, an imperial IPA with 9% or above ABV as hoppy barley wine. This has a 9.2 ABV. Typically, American Imperial IPAs come in between 7.5 and 10.0. And those of you who are familiar with IPAs enough to know, 5.5 to 7.5 is where usually the cutoff for the standard IPA. So 7.5, the cutoff for the standard IPA, is the beginning number for the Imperial IPA. Big surprise there, huh? So anyway, 7.5 to 10.0 is the usual range for the ABV on this. On an Imperial IPA, this has a 9.2 ABV. Also has 115 IBUs. Typically, American Imperial IPAs come in between 60 and 120 IBUs. This has 115, as I said, so it's kind of at the higher end. It's at the higher end of both the booziness scale and the bitterness scale. So there you have the ins and outs of that. When drinking an Imperial anything, whether it's an Imperial IPA, Imperial Brown, Imperial Rye Ale, inconsequential. If it's Imperial or double appears on the bottle, you should always use a Belgian glass. And if you'd like to learn more about the glassware, go to I've got a playlist called Simply Glassware. You can check out the views there. Hopefully very soon I'm going to be learning some skills on YouTube so I can actually, put the link in and say, hey, here it is. Uh, Kelly, if you're watching, my man, there's another cap for you. Already I can smell the hops. And I mean, this bottle is probably a good foot from me and I can still smell the hops coming out. And all I've done is crack open the bottle. So let's get to some pouring. And let's see how this goes. This is a very nice golden color. I'm going to describe that as say medium low carbonation. Now, yes, we did get an exceptionally crazy head on there, and I have to admit that I'm working on my pouring, but it's funny as a beer guy, I'm still not that good at pouring. My man Tony is the one who can pour. I swear to God, that guy could pour 12 ounces of beer into a 10-ounce glass. So anyway, but I'm looking at this very nice color. What you're seeing is at least two shades darker, shades darker is what I was trying to say. So yeah, you're seeing closer to a bronze. This is actually a closer to a very nice golden color. As I said, medium low carbonation. I could already smell the hops. Let me give this a quick beard wipe. I smell that tangerine for sure. That's what I really smell. I'm gonna stick my schnoz directly and see what else I can encounter. I smell the tangerine. I smell the malt. The two things that they said you would definitely encounter on here. I'm picking up on the bouquet, and yet with that 9.2% ABV, I can't say I'm picking up any boozy notes, at least in the bouquet. Haven't tasted it yet, so we're about to find out. So I'm gonna quit yapping my flap. I'm gonna get to some drinking some beer. Cheers. That's good. That's really good. So the alcohol burn does come through. I mean, 9.2, you have to expect it. But and I found that I've been watching my videos in the past, and I make it sound like alcohol burn is a bad thing. It's not. I don't know why I keep saying but, or 9.2 ABV. There is a slight alcohol burn. You would expect there to be, and it is there, but it's really rather minimal. I've had lower ABV beers with more booziness to it. I'm going to describe that as a medium low mouthfeel, not particularly spiky, but not spiky, but it's also there too. So I'm just going to describe it actually instead of saying medium low, I'm just going to say it's a medium mouthfeel. It's neither overly spiky nor nor non-spiky. I don't know what the add with the opposite of non of spiky is, other than non-spiky. Not a lot of spikiness to it, but there is some. So as I said, I would describe it as medium. That tangerine flavor is definitely coming through. In fact, there's sort of a peachy, orangey flavor to it, and the malt is actually coming through very strong as well. So I'm very pleased with this beer because it's a very well balanced malt and hop profile, and I really like that. And I think with an IPA, with an Imperial IPA, you have the opportunity to do that. You have a chance for mellowing out, a little bit of aging, a little bit of maturity to come through on the beer. And so far, I'm really liking this. It has, uh, as I said, just the medium mouthfeel, the slight alcohol burn. You got that orangey, peachy flavor. Does not have a creamy finish, but normally creamy finish is what you expect for a standard IPA, not an Imperial. So I'm not altogether surprised that there's not that finish. In fact, it basically just leaves a bitter aftertaste, but it's a pleasant bitter aftertaste, especially if you're a fan of IPAs. Just a really all-around good beer. I think I'm going to have to give this beer a 4.25. In fact, the more I think about it, I think I'm gonna have to give it a 4.5. It's not gonna get the extra 0.25 because it comes in a bottle instead of a can, but nonetheless, it's gonna get a 4.5 from me. Now, I went to Beer Advocate, and this batch 3000, this 3000 batch, whatever you want to call it, um, is not found at Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate's original listing of the Alpha Millennium from Hop Valley has only 6 rankings with an average score of 3.74. 8 people on Untapped, none of whom are my friends, have checked in on this beer, and apparently nobody has ranked it. So when I go to put this in, I guess I'm going to be the first one actually ranking the beer. 8 people tried it. Nobody felt compelled to give it a score of any kind. That's kind of weird. So anyway, beautiful beer. Look at that lacing, gang. Let's see if I can get this without the yeah, you're not seeing it. There we go. No, no. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now you can see that lacing. Very nice lacing, very strong lacing, very sturdy lacing. And that head, very robust, not going anywhere, sits right on top of there. It's a great beer. This deserves its 4.5 that I'm going to give it. Well, so there you have that. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it. Stay home. Stay safe. Cheers.